Aloha, gang. Dr. Russ Rosen here. Welcome to Dr. Rosen Interviews the Greats. We have a very special guest with us today, and that is Yerka Ståhl. Talk to me, brother. So good to have you here.
Hi, Russ. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yeah.
It's dark here in Sweden. It's just looking outside, so I see some snow out there. But I would like to be in your place today.
Yeah. We actually don't have gray today. It's our first non-gray day in California, and I'll be back in Maui on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that.
Cool, cool,
So
man.
listen, gang, the reason why I've wanted to interview Yuka is because he's had such a classic journey from where he was to where he is. And he asks incredible questions and then takes appropriate action to get to the place now where he's waitlisted, where he has way more demand than supply. I've now made 3 videos that I send out to everybody from our coaching sessions. From when we talk, he has such great questions and the process, he's a great thinker. And the process that we've gone through to get to where he's at right now is something that I'm really confident, unless you presently are fully waitlisted, and even if you are, there are things that are going to help. But if you're not, but you want to get there, this conversation will help you out. So, yeah, could tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll dive into your process.
Yeah, I'm an osteopath from Sweden, so I've been doing this since 2011. Yeah, 2011. It's in American, so it's almost 15 years now. Um, yeah, I'm 50 years old. Um, I'm I'm doing this. I'm doing this kind of stuff, classical osteopathic. So it's a way of working with osteopathic treatment. So that's my specialty, if you call it.
Yeah,
So
and for you chiropractors, he's just the master of hands-on. He's not
yeah,
not
of
not
course.
using drugs, that kind of thing. He's
Uh,
just hands-on brilliant. So when you called me up originally, you had talked about, my practice is about 2/3 full right now.
yeah,
I'm always scrambling for new patients. I know I have so much more to give, but the average person stays until they just start to feel better. And the vast majority of the people feel better very, very fast. So
yeah.
we're talking 2, 3, 4 visits and people are feeling better and they're stopping. But you were saying I know I have so much more to give. I just don't know that I know how to figure that out. I don't know how to communicate that with them. Do you think you can help me to get people to get the concept of feeling better versus actually getting healthy and resolving their problems? And that's kind of where we started. So talk to
Yeah.
me about your journey from that point.
Yeah, well, it was also the thing. One thing I think I should add, because struggling a lot with my, my hands work. I have these mentors, and I really was, trying my best. So I really, I thought it was, this is gonna be, now I'm preparing myself. I've done it for over 10 years. I was really, I think my result was okay at the clinic, really. So I didn't know the thing, what I did wrong also. So that's one thing to my journey too. So like all of you guys, of course, you love your work and you want to do a great job. So and people don't come back and they're finished and they think they're fine. So I don't really know what to tell them. So yeah, that's why I contacted Russ. So that's the main reason. So you know, it was like, okay, see you next time you have symptoms, like in a year or so. So this was the main thing to communicate with my patients. So
Yeah.
they, tell me when you're ready to come again, and that was, something common in my clinic.
Yeah, and really in your neck of the woods, it's really how most osteopaths and even chiropractors practice. It's a very pain-based model. If you're in pain, come in. As soon as you're feeling better, stop.
Yeah, yeah,
And you recognize there's so much more to give. So I remember clearly one of the big ahas was the difference between feeling better and actually functioning better or resolving the problems. And
yeah,
we spent quite a bit of time not only discussing it, but we also talked about how do I know that? How do I
Yeah.
figure that out with my patients? What was your journey with that?
A journey was, it took me a while to process it. And try to do the myotome testing and try to talk with people and what kind of answer I got back. And what you were always guiding me. So the concept is, it's there and it's really good. But if you read it just on a paper or seen in your program, it's hard to actually get it there if you don't have someone to communicate it with. So I think that was good to ask question, bring it up again. So but the real part is informing about the nervous communication and the signaling. So I think that was a part that I brought in actually a little bit better, a little bit before I do the muscle testing. How the work is done for me. Like I work in, so for the nervous communication. So I brought that up before I tell anything about the testing. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So along the lines, for those of you listening, brain, spinal cord, nerve root cells. In Yerker's world, it's a lesion. For chiropractors, it's subluxation, but it's really doing the same work. And when we're not getting proper nerve supply, then things aren't functioning right. And then we started showing Yerker ways of, like, if you've got somebody with low back issues and he does his magic and they feel better, and he shows that their psoas and their TFL are weak, but now they're strong. But the question is, will you come back with it strong? And at the beginning, when you're here, the answer is no. You're not going to come back with it strong. So we help them get the difference between feeling and functioning, and we want them to know that obviously, if the psoas and the TFL are weak, you're an accident waiting to happen. And would you like to not just feel good, but would you like to come back with everything working right, with everything strong? And amazingly enough, lots of people said yes. I would like to do
Yeah.
that. That
Yeah.
that is something I would like, which really separated you from everybody else in your area.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It's it did. It did. So, and I'm really, people are coming back now. So they are. So it's really, it's really working. So when
Yeah.
you're talking about the function and you're showing that the myotome test uh, or communication about the nervous system. So if the communication is better, that you're a master of communicating. If that's better, if I communicate more what I do and try to explain it better and using your tools, uh, people are coming back, and it's like almost, why are everyone coming back now?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, that's in my system. So of course someone is having a break or something, but most of them are going to meet continuity. So and it's
Yep.
and also with there are improvement, they are going on the right track too. So it's nothing about not having anything to do with them. So
Yeah,
it's nice work.
and it's you're also this wasn't more of a new concept as far as autonomic, but as people stick around and really get the work, they don't just feel better, but they get healthier. And my experience for everyone I've ever worked with on this is, as a practitioner, it's more joy when we're not just helping them feel better, but we're also helping them get healthier. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so too. Yeah,
Okay, so then the classic challenge, I told you this on the first day we started working together. I tell everyone I work with the same thing. If you do the things I recommend, you will get busier to the point that there's more demand than supply. And at that time, when there's more demand than supply, you're going to have a new set of problems. They're just
yeah,
not the same old problems. The same old problems are, I can't get enough new patients. I can't fill up my practice. I'm frustrated people don't see the value of my care. And that's how most of us spend our entire career. But once you start having this happen, now the problems come up of now what do I do? I have more demand than supply. I have more people that want to see me than I have space for. I now have people that want to come in and see me as a new patient, but I don't have any new patient spots available for 6 weeks. So I told you that that was going to happen. It would be a problem. Everybody at the beginning, when I say it, laughs and they're like, yeah, that'd be a great problem to have. But then it's a real problem. How do I handle
Yeah.
it? So this has been a very interesting journey. You've, of all the people I've taken to waitlist, you've had the best questions on now what? Like, now what? Now what do I do? How do I handle scheduling? How do I handle the headspace issues? What are they going to think about me, etc. So let's start with headspace, then we'll get to procedure. What were some of the challenges you started going through with, I now have more demand than supply?
Yeah. Let me think a little bit. I was thinking at first it's like, oh, how long it's gonna last? How long it's gonna last? How will I, keep this rolling? What to do now? How to communicate? And also, since a lot of people call in acute still want to come, they want to come fast, and a lot of people that are new also want to come in fast. And how do you communicate with them without losing them, or how do you do it in a good way? How do you contact them? Um, how do you do you schedule now? What's now? I don't you were I try I was lost in that. There still is a process for me. It is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the classic, there are two classic things that come up headspace for docs. The first one is um, I'm gonna lose it all. It's we our thermostat has been we've been grinding so hard trying to fill our practice that it finally fills up and we're afraid that we're now going to lose it, right? That the
yeah,
word's going to get out that there's no space to come and see me. And I'm afraid that everyone is going to then stop and now I'm going to have a crashed practice and there's no way to fill it. That's always one of the big issues that comes up. And there are things you have to do to fix that, right? There are very specific things we've worked on. So when somebody does call, they understand why you're waitlisted. They see the value of hanging out for 6 weeks to get to see you because you're different. We know how to handle people that are acute versus people that are chronic. Those are important things we had to go through. The
yeah,
other thing is, what will they think of me? What are they going to think of me? I don't have space for them. Or, in your particular case, you went from you decreased the amount of time you spend per person by 33%. And
yeah,
that's a big chunk.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
it's a big leap. And so
yeah,
now what will they think of me? They're going to think I'm ripping them off. They're going to think I'm all about the money. They're going to
yeah,
think I'm trying to rush them.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's a big thing.
yeah, those are the classic big things that doctors go through. You happen to bring up both of them, and we handle those. And it's a process. It's not
Yeah.
an event. It doesn't just handle in one day.
No, no, no way. And you need someone to. I think you need someone to coach you there. Otherwise, it's so hard to. You lost in lost in space there, I think. So
Yeah.
good to
Yeah.
have you there.
And then there was, well, now what do I do? So now I've got all these people and I don't have the space. So we look at the funnel. How do I get them to recognize I'm a seahorse, not a sawhorse? How do I get them to recognize that I'm not like everyone else out there? That if they just want to get feeling better, that's okay. Someone else can help them do that. But if they actually want to resolve their problems, that's why I'm waitlisted. That's why there's more demand than supply. And when people get that, they want it. Not all of them, but most of them want it. And that's what changes our entire practice and our entire world. Thoughts of some of the things you've gone through in that regard.
Yeah, it's it's like this. I'm cutting down my time, for example. I've been aiming for that in years because the people that I've been through, it's having the one of the best people I got treatment from, don't have spent so much time that I shouldn't. So it's a good treatment anyway, and I'm struggling so much with that thought, just giving them too little, or stressing them out, or but actually what happened is I'm concentrating more. That's it. I'm doing
Yeah,
I'm doing I think better job now. That's what I think.
sure.
I,
And
I think
it's at present time conscious. We
yeah,
talked a lot about when you're present, the
yeah,
magic happens.
yeah.
And when you're just, well, I've got this much time, so I'll fill it, I'll rub them for a while, then we
Yeah,
just don't get those kinds of results.
and in my case, it was really, I wanted it to be shorter, but I couldn't. I was afraid, and so I think it's actually it is better for my patient now. It is. So
Yeah.
that's a plus. So, but it was a long way to come there. So
Yeah,
for
it
me,
and it took several iterations of doing that, and that we our great fear is we're gonna do less time, and they're gonna look at us and they're gonna punch us right in the face, and they're gonna leave and never come back. How many people punched you in the face?
no one,
Yeah,
but
no.
no one. Someone is, oh, you're already finished, and I'm telling them why the truth, because this is what I wanted from the first start. The people that I'm, best treatment I got is, short in this way, so I'm ready to do this. So
Yep. And just for fun, how many people did you lose that said, I will no longer come back to you because you're not spending enough time with me? How many
no,
different
no
people
one,
did you
no
lose?
one, no,
No one. No
no,
one. And
no that I know of, no that I know of. That's also
you might lose one or two. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to everyone else. You
yeah,
might
yeah,
lose
of
a
course,
couple
of
of people.
course,
But the reality is, who cares? Who cares? He's now full and he's got a wait list of people that get what he does, wants what he offers, and is happy to pay for it. So
yeah,
what if you did lose a couple of people? So what? Now you got to do it right.
yeah,
You've got
yeah,
to be in the right place, your present time consciousness. You have to be able to communicate in the right way, which
yeah,
we've done a lot of work on.
yeah,
But once you do it, your whole world changes. You
yeah,
serve more people, you're more energized,
yeah,
right? You get better results and
yeah,
you make more money.
yeah,
It's just a win-win-win situation
yeah,
all
yeah,
the
yeah,
way around, but you got to do the work.
yeah, yeah.
Yurka has done the work. Like I wish you guys could be on some of our coaching calls. They're so phenomenal with watching him wrestle through this stuff. He shows up, he goes, I know we talked about this before, but I'm having a challenge with this again. And I love to watch him wrestle with it. He's not sweeping it under the carpet. He's not just saying, well, I'm not going to do it then. And he's not just not looking at it. He's wrestling with it and he's figuring it out and it works. And he comes back and it's great. And then like a month later, he goes, all right, I'm back to this concept again, but he's
Yeah,
further along,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And that's what it takes. It takes that level of work. And by doing so, you can create the practice of your dreams.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard work. It's something new. You don't talk about this on a osteopathic school or something like that. It's like you have to learn this after if you
Yeah.
wanna if you wanna have a basic clinic, or fulfill your dreams more, or how you wanna work. So I just spent a lot of times to be good in my hands, but and I think that worked also. But then it was like, why aren't people coming here? Why aren't they coming back? And I could do a lot for them, but I don't know how to communicate it.
Yep.
So
One of the things I love doing with practitioners, I've done it with you as well as pretty much everyone else I coach that gets to this level or wants to get to this level, is I'll ask, so do you remember in osteopathic school or chiropractic school where they showed you the difference between feeling versus function and they talked about, no, do you remember where they showed you how to communicate? No, that's because they didn't, right? They didn't do that. So one of the last concepts I want to go through that is so critical and so valuable. We have a 240 questionnaire that breaks up your practice in 5 systems. Yurka just refilled it out. So let me see. You, let me see. I should have done this before. I apologize. So you started in March of 24, and
Yeah,
today's January of 26.
yeah,
So coming up on 2 years now.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. And the first time you filled out that questionnaire, I just relooked at it. Of the 240 questions broken into the five systems, headspace and certainty, business and team, communications, marketing, and flow, the vast majority of the things you filled out were C, B, D, F. They were not A's and B's. Now, the thing that so many people will say to me is, do I have to get all of these up to an A or a B for my practice to grow? And the answer is no. All you have to do is fix the next most important thing for you, and your practice will start to grow. It's very much like driving, and I'm going to have to do a United States version here. Uh, I guess I could do a version there. So to tell you well, forget it. If I'm trying to drive from New York to California at night, I don't need 3,000 miles worth of headlight. I just need 200 feet. That's all I need. You don't need to be doing everything right. You just need to be doing the next thing right. So Yucca just filled out that questionnaire again, and the majority of things now are A's and B's. They're not all perfect. He's not doing everything perfect, meaning my way, and he doesn't have to. My main focus always is to pull the best out of you, to have you do it your way, not my way. So one of the things we were just talking about as you went through it was, oh yeah, I recognize in my consult I could improve here, and in my exam I could improve here. And you kind of went through and said there are areas that I could be doing better, but they're not perfect. There's areas to improve, but you're waitlisted. Yes?
yeah.
And that it's been a process. Like I really want to get everyone to understand this. It's almost 2 years later. It's still not all perfect, but
No, no.
he's where most of you, most of us can only imagine being, right? So it's really just the next step. It's the next step. So any other thoughts you would like to share before we head out?
No, I'm just, it's been a process and it's not perfect yet, but it's like, I have you have small kids at home, I have life, we have I have a lot of things around me, but still when we meet, when we talk about you can integrate it, and it's if you work with us, you see it's it I don't know how many times just shoot a question right out of the air, and it's you're always like you're looking down for a couple of seconds, then you rock and roll, and it could you can answer for half an hour. So it's incredible knowledge, deep knowledge in this
Yeah.
area. So that's what I think. So you know it when you work with you, the knowledge get deep. Whatever you ask about in this kind of stuff, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It really
We
is.
we always laugh about it. He'll ask you a question and it'll go, okay, like now I need to give you a 10,000 foot view
Yeah.
and then come back in. So if there were somebody who were sitting there thinking about doing coaching with me and they were not quite sure, what would you tell them?
um, just book an hour, because you have an hour at first, and then try you out, just try you out. So
Yeah, see if it's
that's the
right for
thing.
you.
But it's totally different when you sit like this, or if you hear like a YouTube clip with you, it's different. You know, this is personal.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, I would like them to try this. It's an amazing trip.
All right, my brother, it was absolutely wonderful spending time with you. It's been such a pleasure working with you, and your wonderful questions that have led to so many videos that I've made for other doctors. And I'm really glad that we got this call together. So, Dr. Yorker, Dr. Russ, as always, much love and aloha. Bye, gang.